Mara stepped off the shuttle, her boots echoing softly against the smooth metal floor of Haven Station. The station floated silently above a frozen, distant planet, its polished surfaces reflecting the faint sunlight from the star beyond. She carried a small satchel filled with tools, notes, and personal items. Her heart beat with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. This was her first assignment on a station so far from human space, and she was determined to make a good impression. Haven Station was known across the human colonies for its advanced mining operations. The planet below was rich in rare minerals, minerals that could power cities and spacecraft for generations. But Haven was more than just a mining hub. It was a meeting point for humans and several friendly alien species. Humans were respected here for their problem-solving skills, creativity, and courage. Mara felt proud to be part of this community. She walked through the docking hall toward the administration offices. Oren, the station's supervisor, greeted her with a firm handshake and a warm smile. "Welcome, Mara. We've been looking forward to your arrival. Your work on Mercury Outpost impressed everyone," he said. Mara returned the smile, feeling the tension of travel slowly fade. Oren led her through the station, showing her the living quarters, workspaces, and laboratories. Everything was clean, efficient, and oddly quiet. The hum of machinery and the faint glow of panels created a soft, comforting rhythm. When Mara reached her room, she found it small but cozy. A large window looked out over the planet below. Snow-covered plains stretched endlessly, broken only by the occasional glimmer of mining equipment. She placed her bag down and leaned against the window, letting the view sink in. As evening approached, Mara wandered into the station lounge. A fireplace glowed in the center, strange but inviting in the artificial environment of the station. The flames flickered gently, casting dancing shadows across the room. Mara took a seat in one of the soft chairs and let the warmth wash over her. The gentle crackle of fire combined with the quiet hum of the station made her feel calm, yet her mind buzzed with curiosity about what awaited her. Soon, a young engineer named Lyra approached, her expression friendly. "Hi, Mara. I heard you arrived today. Would you like a tour of the energy sector tomorrow? You've never seen anything like it," she said. Mara's eyes lit up. "I would love that, thank you, Lyra." They walked together to the observation deck. The transparent walls gave a breathtaking view of the planet below and the endless black of space above. Mara felt a shiver not from the cold, but from the thrill of being so far from home. The frozen planet looked silent and still, but she sensed something hidden beneath the ice, waiting to be discovered. Back in the lounge, Mara returned to the fireplace, sitting quietly in the flickering glow. She thought about the challenges ahead, overseeing mining operations, maintaining advanced equipment, and understanding the alien technology integrated into the station. It was said that some of the machinery was centuries old, left behind by alien civilizations, yet it still functioned flawlessly with human ingenuity. Mara's curiosity surged. She wanted to see it all. The lounge was empty except for the soft hum of the station and the flickering fire. Mara reflected on the stories she had heard about engineers who had worked here before her. Some had discovered forgotten alien devices, others had solved technical mysteries that had stumped entire colonies. Mara realized that Haven Station was more than a workplace, it was a place where humans could test their intelligence, creativity, and courage. Night deepened, and Mara stayed by the fireplace, letting her thoughts wander. Outside, stars twinkled silently, reminding her of the vast universe she was now a part of. A strange feeling of anticipation filled her chest, a mix of excitement and unease. Mara knew that adventure awaited her, and she could feel the first tug of temptation, the desire to explore and uncover secrets that no one else had seen. She leaned back in the chair, letting the warmth of the fire sink into her bones. Haven Station was more than a station in space. It was a place where humans could prove their worth, a place where their choices and actions mattered. Mara closed her eyes for a moment, taking a deep breath. "Tomorrow," she whispered to herself, "I begin." The fire crackled softly beside her, a small but steady light in the vast darkness of space. Outside, the planet lay quiet and mysterious, waiting for those brave enough to uncover its secrets. Mara felt ready. She was not just a visitor here, she was a part of something larger. And she would not waste this chance. The next morning, Mara woke early, her mind buzzing with curiosity. She quickly dressed and headed to the station's engineering hub. The hub was a maze of panels, wires, and glowing screens, filled with engineers and technicians from many planets. Mara felt at home among the hum of machines and the quiet chatter of humans and aliens working side by side. Her first task was routine: check the energy cores that powered the station's systems. As she ran diagnostics, her screen flickered suddenly. A series of strange signals appeared, patterns that didn't match any human or known alien codes. Mara frowned. "That's unusual," she muttered. She ran the data through the station's decryption software, but the signal resisted interpretation. Curiosity gripped her. This was not a simple technical error, it felt deliberate, almost like a message. Mara tapped the keys faster, adjusting frequencies and filtering noise. Slowly, fragments of a pattern began to emerge. It was an old alien language, partially familiar to the engineers on the station. Mara's pulse quickened. She had never encountered anything like this before. Lyra, who had joined her that morning, glanced over her shoulder. "What is it?" she asked. Mara shook her head. "I'm not sure yet. It's a signal, but it's almost like a warning." Lyra's eyes widened. "A warning? From where?" Mara couldn't answer. The signal came from the planet below, from the icy plains. Whoever or whatever sent it had been silent for centuries, waiting. Mara felt a mix of excitement and caution. She knew she should report the signal to Orin immediately, but a stronger urge pulled her toward investigation. The signal was small, delicate, and intriguing. She imagined hidden rooms beneath the ice, secret devices left by an ancient civilization. Mara's imagination ran wild. That evening, she found herself in the station lounge again, drawn to the fireplace. The flames danced and flickered, casting warm light over her thoughtful face. She sipped a hot drink and stared into the fire. Curiosity and temptation tugged at her in equal measure. The fire's warmth was comforting, inviting her to relax and forget the mysteries below. But Mara could not. Something told her the signal was important, and only humans, with their unique intuition and creativity, could uncover its meaning. Darrow, a senior engineer and close friend of Mara, entered the lounge. "I heard about the signal," he said quietly, sitting opposite her. "Be careful, Mara. Some secrets are dangerous. Some doors, once opened, cannot be closed." Mara nodded slowly. "I know, but I feel like we're meant to find this out. It's part of why we are here, Darrow." They discussed possible approaches. Mara suggested a small expedition to locate the source of the signal on the planet's surface. Darrow hesitated. It could be ice, old machinery, or something worse. "But if anyone can handle it, it's you," he said. Mara smiled faintly, feeling a surge of confidence. Her curiosity was too strong to ignore. The temptation of the unknown was too great. That night, Mara could hardly sleep. She lay in her small quarters, thinking about the signal, the planet, and what might be waiting beneath the ice. Her mind wandered between caution and excitement. She imagined glowing chambers, strange alien devices, and puzzles designed to challenge human ingenuity. She knew the station's mission was not just mining but discovery. And she felt a deep calling to be part of it. The next morning, Mara and Lyra prepared for the descent to the planet's surface. They packed tools, scanners, and protective gear. The shuttle hummed as it detached from Haven Station, descending toward the icy plains below. Mara's heart beat faster with every passing moment. The signal grew clearer as they approached, guiding them toward its origin. On the planet, the icy wind stung their faces as they landed near a small ridge. The snow stretched endlessly, but Mara's scanner began to beep faintly, pointing toward a faint glow under the ice. "There," Mara said, her voice steady despite the excitement. She took a deep breath. "This is what we've been looking for." The temptation to explore further was overwhelming. Mara glanced at the small camp they had set up, then at the icy surface ahead. She knew this could change everything humans understood about the planet and perhaps even about the galaxy. Yet, the fireplace in her mind, the warm, safe feeling of Haven Station, reminded her of caution. She realized she would need both bravery and wisdom to proceed. Mara crouched beside the scanner, studying the glowing patterns beneath the ice. Lyra watched silently, trusting Mara's judgment. The frozen surface seemed ordinary, yet it hid something extraordinary. Mara felt a shiver run through her. This was no simple mining mission. This was the beginning of a discovery that might test humans in ways no one had ever imagined. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the icy plains. Mara looked back at the distant shimmer of Haven Station above. The warmth of the lounge, the flicker of the fireplace, and the comfort of home were far away, but they were in her mind, giving her strength. Mara tightened her grip on her tools and whispered, "We'll see what's down there. And we'll do it carefully." The signal pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat from the past. Mara knew that humanity had a chance to rise to the challenge. Curiosity, caution, and courage would guide them. The temptation was strong, but Mara felt ready. She would not fail. Mara's boots crunched against the icy surface as she and Lyra moved carefully across the snow. The glow from the mysterious signal pulsed faintly beneath the frozen ground, like a heartbeat from a hidden world. Each step brought them closer to something unknown, something that had waited for centuries to be discovered. Mara's heart raced with anticipation, but she reminded herself to stay focused. Curiosity could guide her, but caution would keep her alive. The shuttle stood behind them, a small, silent sentinel on the white plain. Mara glanced back at it once, feeling a strange mix of comfort and longing. The warmth of Haven Station's fireplace, the hum of machinery, and the safety of home were far away. Yet here, on this silent, frozen planet, the thrill of discovery filled her with energy. This was why humans were explorers. The unknown called to them, and they answered. Using scanners, Mara traced the faint energy pulses beneath the snow. They led to a small ridge, where the ice seemed slightly translucent. "We're close," Mara said softly. Lyra nodded, her eyes wide with both fear and excitement. Together, they began to dig, carefully breaking through the thick ice layer. Each strike of their tools sent tiny shards sparkling into the sunlight. After what felt like hours, they uncovered a metal structure, partially frozen in ice. Its surface was smooth and strange, unlike anything Mara had seen before. Symbols etched into the metal glowed faintly, pulsing in rhythm with the signal. Mara knelt beside it, brushing away the remaining snow. "It's ancient," she whispered. "But it's alive in a way." Lyra shivered. "It feels almost like it's watching us," she said. Mara's mind raced with possibilities. This could be a relic from an alien civilization that had visited the planet long before humans arrived. Or it could be a piece of technology designed to test the intelligence of those who found it. Mara remembered the stories from Haven Station, ancient alien devices that challenged humans to prove their cleverness and creativity. Perhaps this was one of them. As they examined the structure, the faint pulse of the signal grew stronger. Mara realized it wasn't just a message, it was an invitation. The metal seemed to respond to their presence, opening tiny panels and revealing intricate machinery inside. Strange lights danced along wires and circuits, as if the device were studying them. Mara felt a thrill of both fear and wonder. This was not merely a machine, it was a puzzle, a test, and a treasure all at once. Lyra pointed to a small, glowing panel. "Do you think we should touch it?" she asked. Mara hesitated. The temptation to explore, to activate the device, was strong. But she knew that patience and careful thought were necessary. "Slowly," she said. "We observe first, then decide. This could be delicate, or it could be dangerous." They spent hours studying the structure, mapping its symbols and taking notes. Mara noticed patterns in the pulses almost like a language. With careful attention, she began to decode fragments, realizing that the device seemed to recognize humans. It responded to creativity and problem solving, rewarding clever choices and ignoring brute force. Mara smiled. This was a challenge that humans could meet because of their unique qualities: intuition, curiosity, and ingenuity. As night fell, the frozen plains glowed faintly under the light of the distant sun. Mara set up a small camp beside the structure, using portable heaters and lights. The signal continued its steady pulse, casting eerie shadows across the ice. Mara sat by a small, warm lantern, feeling a connection to the fireplace she had left behind on Haven Station. The warmth reminded her of safety, but the icy world before her was a place of possibility and discovery. Lyra watched the device silently, understanding Mara's fascination. "It's like it wants to test us," she said softly. Mara nodded. "Yes. But it also trusts us. Only humans could solve something like this." She leaned back and let her eyes follow the glowing patterns, thinking about the future. The temptation to rush ahead, to unlock all its secrets immediately, tugged at her. But Mara reminded herself of Darrow's warning: some doors, once opened, could not be closed. The night deepened, and Mara felt a strange mix of calm and excitement. She realized that this discovery was more than a mission, it was an opportunity to show what humanity could achieve. Intelligence, patience, and courage were their greatest tools, and she intended to use all of them. Finally, Mara lay down beside the glowing device, feeling the cold beneath her but warmth in her heart. Tomorrow, she would continue exploring, learning, and solving the puzzle that the ancient structure had presented. The temptation to uncover its secrets fully was strong, but she knew that careful, deliberate steps would reveal more than reckless action ever could. Above them, the stars blinked quietly in the vast sky, and the faint glow of Haven Station reminded Mara that humans had already come far in the universe. But here, on this frozen planet, she felt the true weight of responsibility. Mara understood that humanity's strength was not just in power or technology, it was in wisdom, curiosity, and the courage to explore the unknown. And so, under the icy sky, Mara closed her eyes for a short rest, ready to meet the challenges of the ancient structure. She knew that the next day would bring new puzzles, new discoveries, and perhaps even new temptations. But Mara felt ready. Humanity had been given another chance to prove itself, and she would not let it slip away. Mara awoke to a soft, steady glow coming from the device they had uncovered. The light pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. Lyra was already awake, scanning the icy surface with a portable device, her breath forming small clouds in the cold air. The alien structure seemed to react to their presence, and Mara felt a mix of excitement and caution. They had uncovered something extraordinary, and now it was beginning to respond. As Mara approached the glowing panel, a low hum filled the air. The hum grew louder, vibrating through the ice beneath their feet. Suddenly, a holographic figure appeared above the structure. It was tall and elegant, unlike any alien Mara had seen in pictures or records. Its form shimmered with translucent colors, shifting and flowing like liquid light. Mara felt a chill run down her spine. The figure spoke in a language they could not understand at first, but then the words became clear in Mara's mind. It was as if the device translated them directly into human thought. "Who comes to the frozen world?" it asked. Mara straightened her back. "We are humans," she said, her voice steady. "We come in peace. We only wish to learn and understand." The holographic figure paused, its colors shifting slowly. "Humans, curious, clever, yet fragile. You may proceed, but first you must prove your worth. Only those who show wisdom and creativity may unlock the secrets of this place." Mara's heart pounded. This was no ordinary structure, it was a guardian, a test left by an ancient civilization to challenge those who dared approach. The guardian projected a series of puzzles in the air, floating shapes and symbols that rearranged themselves continuously. Mara studied them carefully. Each puzzle required careful observation, logic, and lateral thinking. Some shapes seemed simple, but they changed when touched, responding to the human mind in ways that machines could not. Lyra pointed to one puzzle. "It's like it's alive," she whispered. Mara nodded. "Yes. It reacts to us, to our thoughts. We have to be precise and patient." Hours passed as they worked together. Mara solved a puzzle that required moving light beams to align symbols perfectly. Lyra decoded a pattern of sound frequencies that activated a hidden mechanism. The Guardian watched silently, its holographic eyes following every action. Mara realized that the device was testing not just intelligence, but also teamwork. The humans had to combine skills, share ideas, and respect each other's insights. At one point, Mara made a mistake, pressing the wrong symbol. The holographic figure pulsed sharply, casting a cold blue light across the ice. A warning hum filled the air. Mara froze, worried that they had failed. But then the light softened. The Guardian did not punish them, it simply adjusted the challenge, giving them another chance. Mara felt a wave of relief and a deeper respect for the ancient intelligence that designed this test. As the day passed, the puzzles grew more complex. Some required understanding patterns in nature, like the way ice crystals formed, while others involved abstract logic that challenged human intuition. Mara marveled at how the structure seemed designed to recognize uniquely human qualities: curiosity, creativity, patience, and courage. No other species could have solved these puzzles so far. By nightfall, they had completed the final challenge. The Guardian paused, then projected a single beam of light onto the ice, opening a hidden chamber beneath the structure. Mara and Lyra approached slowly, their breath catching in awe. Inside, the chamber was filled with glowing panels, intricate machinery, and symbols that shimmered like stars. It was a treasure trove of knowledge, carefully preserved for those deemed worthy. The Guardian's voice spoke once more. "Humans, you have proven yourselves. You may take knowledge, but remember, wisdom is more important than power. Use it well." Mara bowed her head, understanding the gravity of the moment. "We will," she promised. Lyra nodded, equally humbled. As they explored the chamber, Mara thought about the challenges they had faced. The Guardian had tested not just their minds, but their character. It had measured how humans worked together, how they approached problems, and how they resisted rushing blindly into temptation. Mara realized that this was exactly what made humans strong, the ability to think, adapt, and act responsibly. Finally, they returned to the surface, carrying small but valuable artifacts and data. The ice plains stretched silently around them, peaceful and still. Mara glanced at the glow of Haven Station above. They had discovered something extraordinary, but the real lesson was clear: humanity's strength was not in taking everything immediately, but in understanding, respecting, and using knowledge wisely. That night, back in their small camp, Mara sat beside a small portable fire, its warmth reminding her of the lounge fireplace at Haven Station. The glow of the device and the distant stars above filled her with quiet satisfaction. Humans had faced temptation, curiosity, and challenges, and they had proven themselves worthy. Mara closed her eyes for a moment, thinking about what tomorrow would bring. The alien Guardian had given them knowledge, but the true test of humanity was just beginning. Mara smiled softly. They were ready. Mara and Lyra returned to their camp after a long day with the alien Guardian. The glowing chamber beneath the ice had revealed artifacts, tools, and data far beyond anything humans had seen before. Their minds raced with possibilities. With such knowledge, humanity could advance in ways previously thought impossible. Mara felt excitement, but also a quiet caution. She knew that power, even in small doses, could tempt the wisest minds. Lyra unpacked the data cores and began examining the information. "Mara, look at this," she said. "These designs could revolutionize energy production, transportation, even communication. We could take this back to Haven Station, and humanity could rise faster than ever." Mara nodded slowly, understanding the temptation. It was strong, almost overwhelming. The glow from the device beneath the ice seemed to pull at them, promising answers and rewards. But Mara also remembered the Guardian's warning: wisdom is more important than power. She sat beside a small portable fire, its warmth reminding her of the lounge fireplace at Haven Station. The flickering flames calmed her mind. She realized that rushing to take everything without thought could lead to mistakes, perhaps even disaster. Some knowledge might be too dangerous if used carelessly. Darrow's words echoed in her mind: some doors, once opened, cannot be closed. Mara knew he was right. The temptation to seize the alien technology immediately was powerful, but she had to balance curiosity with responsibility. Humanity's strength lay not just in invention, but in thoughtful action. That night, Mara walked a short distance from the camp, gazing at the frozen plains. The stars above twinkled like distant lanterns. She imagined what life would be like if humans used the alien knowledge recklessly: powerful machines without understanding, dangerous experiments, or conflicts with other civilizations. The thought made her shiver. This temptation was more than personal, it affected all of humanity. Lyra joined her, carrying a small holographic display. Mara, I know it's tempting to take everything. But maybe we should prioritize, learn carefully, and bring back only what we can truly understand. Mara smiled. Exactly. Knowledge is only useful when it is applied wisely. The temptation to use power recklessly could be our greatest enemy. The next morning, Mara and Lyra began cataloging the discoveries carefully. They separated the artifacts and data into manageable portions, analyzing each one thoroughly. Some items were simple but ingenious, tools to improve mining efficiency. Others were far more advanced, capable of energy generation, environmental control, or even creating materials that defied gravity. Mara realized that these advanced tools could transform human life, but only if handled with care. During their work, Mara noticed the subtle temptation growing in her mind. The allure of becoming a hero, the one who brought unmatched power to humanity, was strong. She shook her head, grounding herself. The true test was not to give in to the desire for personal glory, but to make decisions for the benefit of all. Humanity had always grown through patience, intelligence, and teamwork. She would not break that tradition. By mid-afternoon, they had decoded part of the alien technology, enough to bring back usable knowledge safely. Mara looked at the glowing panels beneath the ice one last time. We take only what we can understand, she said. The rest stays here until humans are ready. Lyra nodded, relieved. They had resisted temptation, showing both discipline and wisdom. As they prepared to return to Haven Station, Mara felt a quiet sense of satisfaction. The alien guardian had not only tested their intelligence, but also their character. Humans had proven that they could handle temptation responsibly. They could pursue power, but they would do so with care, thought, and respect for the universe around them. The shuttle lifted from the icy plains, leaving the glowing device behind. Mara watched the planet shrink beneath them, feeling a mixture of awe and humility. The temptation of power had been strong, but humans had met it with restraint. Mara understood now that true strength came from wisdom, courage, and patience. Back at Haven Station, the familiar hum of machinery and the warmth of the lounge fireplace welcomed them. Mara set down the carefully preserved artifacts and data. She felt proud, not because she had discovered extraordinary knowledge, but because humanity had proven itself ready to use it wisely. The temptation of immediate gain had passed, leaving a deeper, more lasting satisfaction. That night, Mara sat by the fireplace, sipping a warm drink. The flames danced and flickered, echoing the pulse of the alien device beneath the ice. She reflected on the lessons learned: curiosity must be guided by wisdom, temptation must be resisted, and human strength lay in patience, teamwork, and moral choice. Mara smiled to herself. Humanity had faced temptation and emerged stronger, not just in power, but in character. The stars outside the lounge twinkled quietly, and the universe seemed to acknowledge that humans were ready to take their place among the great explorers, inventors, and thinkers of the galaxy. Mara walked through the quiet corridors of Haven Station, carrying the carefully preserved alien data cores. The station felt alive with a gentle hum, a mix of machinery and distant voices from engineers and scientists. She had returned from the frozen planet with knowledge that could change humanity's future. Yet she knew that the true test was just beginning. Could humans use this gift wisely? In the engineering hub, Mara and Lyra began integrating the alien designs with the station's systems. They worked carefully, testing each new component step by step. Some of the technology improved energy efficiency, while others helped maintain the station's environmental systems with minimal waste. The team marveled at the precision and ingenuity of the ancient civilization. Each new discovery felt like a bridge between human creativity and alien brilliance. Oren observed quietly, impressed. "You've handled this perfectly," he said to Mara. "Others might have rushed, but you've taken the time to understand, test, and apply it safely. That is the mark of a true engineer and of humanity at its best." Mara nodded, feeling a sense of quiet pride. This was what the alien guardian had wanted, not just skill, but responsibility. Meanwhile, Darrow joined the team, examining a device that could generate energy from small fluctuations in heat. "This is incredible," he said. "And it's safe enough for human use. We can implement it immediately without risk. You made the right choice by not taking everything at once." Mara smiled. She realized that patience had been their greatest ally. By resisting temptation, humans had proven they could grow stronger through discipline. Days passed as the team implemented the new technologies. The station's systems became more efficient, safer, and more advanced than ever before. Mara watched as human ingenuity combined with the alien designs, creating solutions that neither species could have achieved alone. Engineers worked side by side with alien colleagues, sharing ideas, solving problems, and testing innovations. It was a true collaboration, a testament to human adaptability and intelligence. At night, Mara would sit by the lounge fireplace, reflecting on the journey. The warmth and glow reminded her of the comfort of safety, but also of the patience and careful thought that had guided them. Humanity had been tempted by incredible power, but instead of rushing, they had grown stronger, wiser, and more respected. Mara felt a deep sense of satisfaction. They had proven themselves worthy of the trust given by the ancient civilization. One evening, as Mara reviewed the final notes from the expedition, Lyra joined her. "Look at this," she said, pointing to a set of schematics. "By combining the alien energy cores with our existing systems, we can extend Haven Station's operations for decades without risk. It's sustainable and safe. Humans have truly proven their worth." Mara nodded. "Yes. We've shown that intelligence, creativity, and caution can work together. That is what makes humanity unique." Even the younger engineers felt inspired. They began experimenting with small projects, applying lessons from Mara and Lyra. Ideas that seemed impossible before were now within reach. The station became a hub of innovation, a place where humans not only survived but thrived. The alien technology had unlocked potential, but it was human wisdom that gave it meaning. Mara realized something important: the alien guardian had tested more than technical skill. It had tested character. Humans had been tempted by immediate power but had chosen responsibility instead. That choice, more than any invention, was what proved their worth. Humanity had not only learned but had grown stronger, wiser, and more capable. As she sat by the fireplace that night, Mara allowed herself a small smile. The warmth and soft crackle of the flames reminded her of the journey. Curiosity had led them to the planet, the Guardian had tested them, and temptation had been resisted. They had emerged not just with knowledge, but with proof that humans could rise to challenges with wisdom and integrity. Outside the station, the stars blinked silently in the vast black sky. Mara knew that humanity's journey was far from over. The universe was full of mysteries, challenges, and opportunities. But for the first time, she felt confident that humans were ready to face them not recklessly, but with careful thought, collaboration, and courage. Mara leaned back, letting the warmth of the fire fill her senses. "Tomorrow, the team would continue integrating the alien technology, pushing the boundaries of human understanding. But tonight, there was peace. Humans had proven themselves, and that proof would guide them in all the challenges to come. With the soft hum of Haven Station around her and the flicker of the fireplace beside her, Mara closed her eyes, feeling a deep connection to both her species and the universe. Humanity had faced temptation, curiosity, and uncertainty and had emerged stronger. The journey had not been easy, but it had been worth it. The stars above seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if acknowledging that humans had taken another step toward greatness. And Mara knew, in her heart, that the best was yet to come. The first light of the star above Haven Station cast a soft glow across the corridors. Mara stood by the window in the lounge, watching the planet below. The icy plains stretched endlessly, glimmering like silver in the morning sun. The station, once a quiet hub of operations, now buzzed with energy. Engineers and scientists moved with purpose, inspired by the discoveries Mara and her team had brought back. Humanity was ready to take the next step. The alien technology, carefully integrated into the station's systems, had transformed Haven Station. Energy efficiency had doubled, communication systems were faster and more reliable, and the station's environmental controls were better than ever. But the greatest achievement was not the machines, it was the people. Humans had proven that they could face temptation, make wise choices, and use knowledge responsibly. Mara felt a deep sense of pride. In the lounge, Mara sat by the familiar fireplace, its warm glow a comforting reminder of the journey. Lyra joined her, carrying a cup of steaming liquid. "It's amazing," she said quietly. "Look at what we've done. Look at what humanity can achieve when we think, plan, and act together." Mara nodded, her eyes fixed on the flames. "Yes. We've learned something greater than technology. We've learned how to grow stronger without losing our sense of responsibility." Oren entered the lounge, his face calm but proud. "Mara, Lyra, the board has decided to share your findings with other human colonies. Your work will help thousands of people. You've set an example not just for engineers, but for all of humanity." Mara smiled, feeling the weight of the moment. They had faced temptation, curiosity, and the unknown, and they had emerged wiser. That day, Mara and her team presented their discoveries. Engineers from other stations and colonies gathered, eager to learn. The alien designs were explained carefully, with attention to safety and understanding. Mara emphasized patience, teamwork, and wisdom. "Knowledge is powerful," she said. "But power without responsibility can be dangerous. Humanity's greatest strength is using what we learn wisely." As the audience listened, Mara thought back to the frozen planet, the glowing chamber, and the alien guardian. That experience had tested more than their intelligence, it had tested their character. And humanity had passed. The team had resisted the temptation to take more than they could safely handle, showing that humans could combine curiosity with discipline. Later, Mara walked to the observation deck. The stars above stretched endlessly, and the planet below shimmered quietly. The universe was vast, full of challenges and opportunities, but Mara felt confident. Humans had proven they were capable of great things not just through invention, but through thought, patience, and careful choice. The future was theirs to shape, and they would do so wisely. Back in the lounge, Mara returned to the fireplace. She watched the flames dance, reflecting on the journey. Every flicker reminded her of curiosity, the first spark that led them to the frozen planet. Every crackle reminded her of the temptation they had resisted. And every glow reminded her of warmth, safety, and the importance of thoughtful action. Humanity had faced a test, and they had succeeded. Lyra joined her once more. "Do you think we'll face more challenges like this?" she asked. Mara nodded, a gentle smile on her face. "Yes. The universe is full of mysteries. But now, we know something important: humans can rise to the challenge. We have the courage, the intelligence, and the wisdom to face the unknown." As night fell over Haven Station, the stars twinkled brighter than ever. Mara felt a deep connection to her species and to the cosmos. Humanity was no longer just explorers and workers, they were thinkers, innovators, and guardians of knowledge. They had proven that they could resist temptation, act wisely, and grow stronger as a result. Finally, Mara leaned back, closing her eyes as the warm glow of the fireplace surrounded her. She thought of the journey, the challenges, the alien guardian, and the frozen planet. Every step had been a lesson, every temptation a test, and every choice an opportunity to prove human worth. The first light of the next day began to seep through the observation deck, signaling a new dawn. Mara felt hope, pride, and excitement. Humanity had faced the unknown and had emerged wiser, stronger, and ready for what lay ahead. The universe was vast, but humans were ready. And in the quiet of Haven Station, beside the comforting fireplace, Mara whispered softly to herself, "This is only the beginning."